Hey, kids. You're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I'm your host, Joe. Aki and Jacob are here. How are you two doing?
Good, and you?
Look at you being all polite and shit.
I usually say that, but okay.
Jacob, how are you?
I've just had like a what the fuck ever, like last 24 hours, and I'm just done.
Why? What happened?
Well, so... I mean, for obviously the listeners, they don't know this, but Joe managed to find the last Suicide Squad Steelbook that Best Buy is selling. He found the last one in the 250 miles
around my house.
Jesus.
And it's like 40 minutes from my house, and I was just like, and he's like, "Can you please pick this up for me?" Like in that exact voice.
I didn't even say it. Like I
shut up,
did
Joe.
it in text.
It is my story. It is my story. Shut up.
It's
exactly
made up
like
bullshit.
Can you get it for me?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Joe. That is actually verbatim how you sounded. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, so I'm just like, why, yes, Joe, I could definitely do that. Because, that's how I sound. And so I go out last night, and earlier in the day, I thought something sounded wrong with one of my tires, but it's Pennsylvania, so you're always paranoid that something fucked up with one of your tires.
It's usually just the roads.
And I get literally 2 miles from my house, and I'm just like, something is definitely wrong. And so I pull over, and my driver front tire is it's either super deflated or it's just straight up flat. And I'm just like, Joe, I'm not going to be able to pick it up tonight. And he's like, whatever, they hold it till Sunday. That's fine. And so it's like I have to call up AAA. And AAA is just like, yeah, we have no record of you having a membership. And I'm just like, listen, I have a membership. I know I do. And so we're searching through all of my previous addresses because the same shit happened last time. My car battery died in the same exact damn van. My wife says that this van is haunted, and I'm now starting to believe her that she's not loony about it. But anyways, and so I pull out the receipt from the battery thing because the guy's just like, this is your warranty in case this battery dies in the next 3 years. AAA will replace it free of charge. And so but the friggin' guy had bad handwriting, and so the lady's desperately trying all these different possible variations of my membership number. Nothing is still coming up. She's trying the last 4 addresses I've lived at, and all of these are showing that at some point my membership had lapsed but never renewed. And it's just getting to the point where the lady's like, okay, well, you're probably just gonna have to pay it out of pocket, and then just get a reimbursement from us. And I'm like, well, wait a second, could you look it up on my wife's name? And she's like, yeah, I could do that. And we find her, and the address, the first part of it's correct, but they have us down as drive and not road. But this lady, I could tell she really just wants to get me off the phone, and she's just like, yeah, this is probably it. That's probably no worries. So, I get all
I love that Aki's mic is so good now that you can hear her random when she just wants you to finish.
I was hoping you could pick it up.
Whatever. I'm used to ladies hoping I'll finish soon.
Oh, come on now. No one. You're not used to people waiting for you to finish. You finish way too quick, and everyone knows it.
Whatever.
One pump chump.
Whatever you call one hump chump, I call it speed running. I'm sorry that I finished first. It's like I can't help it. I'm better at you.
If you can't even get it out of your pants before you're done, you're not speedrunning anything.
I played the game before everyone else.
Oh my god!
So anyway, I eventually get the mechanic over there, and like he puts the donut on, and I meekly make it back to my house. But it's just like I don't even remember all the other crap that happened yesterday. But it was just like that was just like the icing on the cake, and then and today's just been like existential. Like I just don't give a crap. I'm done. So. That's where
so you're here instead.
Good.
So you're here.
Unfortunately,
and you're stuck with us.
Hey, you got.
I don't know if I'm really stuck with you guys. I think you're all. The thing is, I don't think I'm stuck with you guys. I think you're all stuck with me.
That is unfortunately probably a hell of a lot.
I was going to say because of Aki's attitude, I feel like I could tell a few more rambling stories tonight.
So. No, just if he starts, just kick him out. We can continue the show without him. It's fine.
Jesus. Nah, we have to fill up time because Norg might show up. So.
Oh, he won't be here for a long time.
Oh, good. So, how many rambling stories do you want? I got a few.
None. Sega and Microsoft have entered into some sort of agreement to work together to help Sega develop a, quote, super game and to improve their workforce situation. Have you heard that news?
I had heard that they had joined together for something, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is an Xbox partnership. It seems more like it's like the Microsoft and Sony Azure cloud deal, like working with the cloud stuff. It seems like that's what the partnership's about.
That's still cool.
Yeah, I mean, although fingers crossed, I mean, it could be like an awesome game. Yakuza, Jet Set Radio.
That'd be nice.
That would be amazing.
I don't know. We'll see. A lot of stuff coming to Game Pass. It has been a busy week with Game Pass. On the PC side of things, they got Minecraft, Java, and Bedrock. Everybody got Unpacking on day one. Day one. Oh my God. We're going to talk about that later. November 4th, we got It Takes Two and Kill It With Fire.
Nice.
I'm excited about Kill It With Fire. I didn't even realize that was an Xbox game. I mean, maybe I did and I just forgot. Because I could have sworn it was only like for Switch, or like we only reviewed the Switch version, but hell yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, next week on the 9th, Football Manager 2022 and Football Manager 2022 Xbox Edition are going to be hitting, as well as some little indie called Forza Horizon 5.
Is that like an indie game or something?
I think so. It's 5 of them.
It's probably like a cooking sim or something.
I don't know, but there's 5 of them. So
do I need to
probably
play all
platformers?
5 to understand the storyline?
Probably platformers. November 11th, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the definitive edition, hits Game Pass console, and One Step from Eden hits console and PC.
Step from Eden. That sounds familiar. I don't know why.
Probably because it's a video game.
But yeah, it's GTA.
Strategic deck building and real-time action with roguelike elements.
I'm even more confused why that sounds familiar to me, because that is everything that I don't like in a fucking game.
I think that's the one that's kind of like the Mega Man Battle Network games, like the grid-based combat.
The screenshot, I think you're right. It does look like it. And there's a girl on the cover, so Aki, I mean, like, I know that that's automatically a plus for you. So.
Yeah, but a plus to a bunch of steaming hot dog shit is still steaming hot dog shit.
How do you know what's steaming hot dog shit?
Because of everything you listed that the game was. That's how I know.
No, that just means it's things you don't like. That doesn't mean it's bad.
It's bad to me.
Have you Joe, have you met Aki?
Thankfully, no.
Well, the reviews on Steam are overwhelmingly positive, so...
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good about it. I've seen it at MagFest a few times, so I'm excited that it's going to be hitting Game Pass. November 18th, Undungeon is hitting Game Pass, and then on November 30th, Evil Genius 2.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not all good news, though. Obviously, some games join Game Pass. Some games are going to leave Game Pass. So by November 15th, we are going to be losing 6 games. And there's some good ones. Final Fantasy VIII HD is gone. Planet Coaster. Star Renegades. Streets of Rogue. The Gardens Between Us and River City Girls are all leaving.
I just want to say... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You go.
Oh, okay. Like, if you're concerned about Final Fantasy VIII leaving and, like, you're like, oh, I have to buy it before it goes, just freaking wait till the next sale, because they always knock them down by 50%, and that's a way better deal than what your Xbox Game Pass will get you.
Yeah, so. It goes on sale frequently, so...
Yeah.
And The Gardens Between, just go ahead and go download that and play that, people. You can finish that in, like, an hour.
That's a good game, too.
It's a good... fast little
Gardens
game.
Between.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I reviewed that for us, I believe.
I don't know. It's been too long. I don't remember that shit. PlayStation Now is getting some games added for November with Final Fantasy IX, Celeste, Totally Reliable Delivery Service, and then Mafia Definitive Edition until February 28th.
Oh, that's cool. That's some good games.
Yeah, they're getting
Celeste
some good
just
stuff.
left Xbox Game Pass, too.
Yeah, so it jumps from one to another. Gotta love it. Games with Gold for November were announced. They sure are some games.
That doesn't sound good.
Xbox One gets Moving Out and Kingdom 2 Crowns.
Which I did. I reviewed Kingdom 2 Crowns. I remember it being like, I thought it was decent, but it confusing. Like, the game doesn't take time to explain itself, and like, it doesn't exactly tell you what the objectives are to move on to the next quote unquote level. But I thought it was all right. It's definitely, I mean, that's really cool that it's free now.
Yeah, so. That's the only one that I don't own of the 4 is Kingdom 2 Crowns. So I'm happy I'll be getting that.
What are the other 2?
And then on Xbox 360, they're getting Rocket Knight and Lego Batman 2.
All right, I'm excited for Lego Batman 2.
The only one I didn't own was Rocket Knight.
No, it's free now, so chop, get that shit.
Well, I already got it.
I'm proud of you. It's being reported that...
God, you're proud of me.
No, I'm not. I was lying.
You just said it. Unless you edit it out of the show.
I will.
I'm going to listen just to see if you did.
I won't. I'm too lazy.
You got a reason for Aki to listen. You know, just tell me randomly in future
anyways.
Just randomly tell me during episodes that you're proud of me, and then edit it out, just so Aki will go back and check to see if you actually did.
I mean, I do occasionally watch the episodes.
That's why we have more than 2 views.
Yeah, I don't watch too often, but I do occasionally. Watch them. Not often, but when I do, I usually watch like 3 or 4 of them. But
yeah, Rupier mentioning PS Plus has a bunch of games. They have their normal 3 and then 3 PSVR games. I know we went over those last week. I'm trying to think what those who remain: Kingdoms of Amalur, Knockout City, Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. I don't remember the others. I tried.
No, you didn't.
It's better than how many of them I remember, which was fucking none of them.
No, it wasn't Those Who Remain. What the hell's the name of that other game? I don't know. It's being reported that GoldenEye 007 has been unbanned in Germany, leading many to speculate that a re-release might be on the way, either through Nintendo Switch's online service or Microsoft releasing that 360 version that was being worked on.
Why was it even banned?
Because Germany's
pretty, they're pretty stringent on those kind of things. Like, you have to do a lot of editing for it. Like, if I remember correctly, you're not allowed to show blood, because and again, this is a lot of, if I remember correctly,
didn't know that.
Carmageddon actually had to change all the pedestrians to zombies, and all the blood was turned green just so it could get sold in Germany. They're pretty anal about that kind of shit. So the fact that GoldenEye is becoming unbanned is kind of big news.
Yeah, it might lead somewhere, it might not. We'll see. It's fun to speculate. Jen O'Neill left her co-leader role at Blizzard, making Mike Ibarra the lone boss. So, more women leaving Activision Blizzard.
Big shocker.
Wait, did she actually leave? I thought she was just moving to a different position in the company.
She still left her role, so...
Oh, well, yeah.
And
I
then
thought she left altogether.
Yeah, and then they announced that both Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 are both planned to launch, quote, later than originally envisaged.
Envisaged?
Yes.
That's the actual word?
Yes, that's why I wrote it down. They are both planned to launch later than originally envisaged.
Someone really, really wanted to put their English degree to work. Congrats.
I was going to say, somebody over at Activision really busted out the thesaurus. Verb, contemplate or conceive as a possibility or a desirable future event. Yeah, guys, we'd love to release this at some point. Jeez.
We just don't think it's going to happen.
Yikes.
Square is removing the paid XP boosts from the Avengers after the massive backlash that they faced when they added paid XP boosts to the Avengers, a game that they nerfed the XP on.
Imagine that. They're taking it out now that they've made all their money.
Yeah, pretty much. They had it there for a few months, people paid for them, and now they're going to take them out and look good, and they're probably not going to unnerf the XP.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, man.
That would be too much like a decent idea. They can't do that.
And then I know Square said something like Crystal Dynamics wasn't the proper fit for the games as a service model of. It's like, no, it's games as a service isn't a good fit for fucking single player games.
It's not a good fit for fucking anything.
Games as a service needs to just, it needs to fucking die. I want games. I don't want my games to be chores that I have to attend to every day to get daily quests and daily rewards and weekly rewards. And like, I don't want my games to become chores. I just want to play a fucking game.
See, I blame farming simulator people for this shit. All these games are like them because all these games are like farm games as far as I'm concerned. All you do is you sit there and you fucking wait and you do chores. That's all that shit is.
I don't know. Niantic is shutting down Harry Potter Wizards Unite at the end of January.
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was.
It's a mobile game.
It was like Pokemon Go, except with Harry Potter. And the way that they've been wording it has been a little confusing because I'm not sure if they're saying that it only made $40 million for them in their entire run of 2 years, or if it only pulled in $40 million last year, as opposed to Pokemon Go, which just prints money and like made over like $1 billion last year alone. But yeah, so we've got that, or so they closed that, but then there's also that Pikmin game that they just started up. I think it's like called Pikmin Bloom. Yeah,
something like that. But Harry Potter is going to be removed from stores on December 6th. And players will no longer be able to make in-game purchases as of December 6th as well. So, spend as much money as you can in the next month for the game that's shutting down in 2 months.
Because, J.K. Rowling needs all your money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's real interesting how, like, the Harry Potter property went from, like, one of the most beloved literary franchises, like, and then within like a 10-year period, it went from that to like what are they releasing now? Like, god damn it. Like, why? Like, nobody gives a crap about the next Fantastic Beasts movie. Nobody
I didn't even know they were still making them.
Oh yeah, they are. They're like, and the best part is like now Warner Brothers is on for like 5 of them because it was only supposed to be a trilogy. So they're shutting down this game, that Harry Potter open world game, like, you know, had all the bullshit with that last year. And then, and that thing hasn't even released yet. And then now Cartoon Network is having like some sort of Harry Potter trivia game thing. And yeah, like everyone's essentially just shitting on it and is like, why the hell is this a thing? Nobody cares.
Yeah, I see commercials for that thing during wrestling on Wednesday nights. It's going to be on, I think, TBS or something.
It's Cartoon Network.
I don't think it's Cartoon Network.
They've been advertising like it is. So, I mean, they maybe they're only going to show like the first episode on Cartoon Network, but I don't know.
Now I want to find out.
Saw showed that it was. I don't know why we're also going this in depth about Harry Potter bullshit, but
see, now I want to know. This is your fucking fault.
Yeah, I know it's my fault. Whatever.
The first episode premieres November 28th on TBS and Cartoon Network's Acme at 7 p.m.
The fuck is Acme?
I don't know.
Isn't it?
Oh, and it's also going to show up on HBO Max as well next year.
Oh, well, anyway, the downfall of Harry Potter is nowhere near as bad as the downfall of Game of Thrones.
That is true.
Because, like, Game of Thrones used to be the most talked about thing in the world. And now no one gives a flying fuck about it because they ruined it so bad.
Well, they ruined the ending, and then that was the ending.
Yeah, and now no one talks about it. No one, like, people always used to talk and speculate and be like, you know, what about these characters and what about these characters? And now they're just like, I don't give a shit anymore. Fuck them all.
It's not like you're going to speculate after the show is now done.
You could what are they doing next? What are they going to do next?
Nothing. It's over.
They still have lives to lead.
Well, there's that prequel show that's coming out soon.
Yeah, no one cares about it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I didn't know about that.
It's one of those things where I think it's really fascinating, like how much something can be like such a pop culture phenomena, and then like it just disappears like a fart, essentially.
Yeah.
I think we just have less and less of an ability to remember things. It just once it's over, we've already moved on to the next fucking thing at this point. And all humanity is like that, I think. And it's just getting worse and worse as time goes on.
Well, Root Beer says that people are hyped about the new series on HBO. I haven't heard any hype for it. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. But anyway, Spellforce 3 has been delayed to March 8th on consoles. It will still release on PC in December, though.
What's Spellforce?
It's a game.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Devolver Digital has acquired Firefly Studios, the developers of Stronghold series, Nereal, the developers of Card Shark, and Dodge Roll, the Enter the Gungeon developers.
Oh, did we have them on the show once?
No.
Oh, I thought we had the folks responsible for Enter the Gungeon on.
No, I don't think so.
We had Cole, who always talked about the damn game. We had her on, which is about the same thing, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's the news I have, Jacob. What news do you have?
The Chinese Fortnite servers are shutting down on November 15th. Essentially, it's just China's cracking down on like all these like pay-to-win kind of stuff.
China's just doing that for all games in general right now.
Yeah, anything that's got like microtransactions, like they're essentially riding their ass on a bunch of stuff because they've pretty much microtransactions have just been outlawed, period. And of course, Fortnite depends on that, so there's no point in keeping it around if there's no way for them to really make money.
Yeah.
So, away it goes. Also, other things closing down. Nintendo's closing its California and Toronto offices.
Fun. Shutdowns are always good.
I need to know what Root Beer's talking about in chat. Still waiting for that penis game. The Switch port. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, God. What the fuck was the name? I can't remember the name of it now. Devolver dick game. Let me look that up. Genital jousting. That's what it was.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That game is ridiculous. Yeah, genital jousting. Aki, you've never seen that game?
No, I have not.
You need to play that game. It is a dick with balls, and the dick with balls has an anus, and you have to fuck the other anuses without getting fucked yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
You're just a dick, and you got to find a home. Basically.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
I guess.
You just find a home, you burrow into a home, and that's the end of the round.
Oh god, that sounds terrible.
It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
Alrighty. Anyway, the Tencent and purchase of Sumo Group is now coming under investigation by the U.S. government. Pretty much, it just has to do with like data sharing and national security and all that kind of shit. Same shit that TikTok was getting investigated for.
Who's getting investigated? I missed the beginning of that sentence.
Tencent.
Oh, that doesn't shock me.
They back in over the summer they announced their purchase of Sumo, and so that's now being investigated by the U.S. and I think the British government too.
Nice.
Did we talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons, like the final DLC for it? Did we talk about that last week or no?
I mean, we talked about the DLC previously, but what did you want to mention about it?
It's the final paid content for it.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's the only paid content for it.
That's true. Also, the version 2.0 update will also be the last free update as well. So, support for that game is obviously ending. And then the last bit of news that I have is Snoop Dogg says that Dr. Dre is making music for an upcoming GTA game. Nobody else has confirmed it, so Snoop might have accidentally said shit that he wasn't supposed to.
Shocking. I bet he was high, too.
I mean, it's
of course
Snoop Dogg,
he was.
So.
he could talk about anything, and you could say, he's probably high, and you'd probably be fucking right.
According to Snoop, I do know he's in the studio. I do know he's making great fucking music, and some of his music is connected to the GTA game that's coming out. So I think that will be on the way that his music will be released through the GTA video game. So,
I wonder if they did anything for San Andreas remaster.
Oh, that's an interesting point. I wonder maybe that's what he's talking about. Like did he have any music in San Andreas? Dr. Dre, hold on, maybe.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
Yeah,
he had a bunch of stuff featuring Snoop Dogg, and also, yeah. I mean, he did have stuff in San Andreas. That was a good call.
Maybe it's connected to San Andreas Remastered. We'll find out. Next week, we'll find out when San Andreas Remastered hits, along with 3 and Vice City Remastered.
He also shows up as himself in Grand Theft Auto Online.
Well, maybe it'll be content through GTA Online.
Maybe. That'd be interesting.
That would make sense, too. But yeah, Aki, any news on your end?
God, no. That would mean I'd have to pay attention to fucking news. I can't do that.
Cool. You ready for reviews, then?
Sure. At least I'm honest. I'm not going to try and bullshit you. I don't pay attention to the news. I mean, I'm just glad that I knew about the Microsoft Sega thing. That was impressive that I even knew that much. Okay, you should be happy.
True. All right, well, should we get to reviews then?
Sure.
All right, first review tonight is for the Turtle Beach Neat Skyline microphone. It is available now for $69.99 on the Turtle Beach website. No matter how you're communicating with the outside world, it's important to be heard. Working from home to the office to the classroom, Skyline will let you command the room with crystal clear, high quality, 24-bit, 96 kilohertz digital audio. Uptown, downtown, the Skyline will take your audio to new heights. Aki, tell us a little bit about the Turtle Beach Neat Skyline microphone. Okay.
It's really easy to set up, as you would probably expect for most mics in these days and age. You just plug it the fuck in and it works. Yay. This one surprised me because I saw what it looked like, and I thought it was going to be a mic that had a stand it just sat on, basically. But no, it's all one thing, which is interesting. It stands up pretty high. It's like 6 inches tall or something like that. So it's a lot closer to my face than my last mic, which might be part of the reason why I sound a little better now. Has a mute button on the base, which is really squishy, which is just interesting to me. I wasn't expecting a squishy mute button. Usually all of them I've ever had, there was a hard button that you just pushed in and it turned off. No, this one's a little squishy thing. It's fantastic.
Maybe it's to prevent any kind of audible click of like pressing the button and causing vibration through the microphone.
That could be. It is real hard not to cause a vibration with this microphone, even just gently touching it. And it's very, very audible, which kind of surprised me.
What are you giggling about?
I was really hoping that the word sensitive was going to get worked in there somewhere. Just dirty. Anyway, continue.
Okay. And I guess I will have to say it. The mic is very sensitive. Because I was going to say that, and there you go. I found that when I was messing with the gain levels or whatever the hell it's called for this thing, it started off when I plugged it in. It started off at 5. My other mic, the Meteor mic that I use usually, started at like a 32, which and they picked up about the same at those levels, which means this is significantly more sensitive. It's a lot easier to pick up a lot more stuff. And
like during Jacob's story, you're
yeah. And I turned the gain down even because at 5%, it was able to pick up my fucking fan on my computer perfectly. Yeah.
Have you tried like playing anything like what's that alien game?
Isolation?
Thank you. Isolation. Like, I don't know if you've seen the YouTube clip where the guy acts, or like he farts and his mic actually picks it up, and like so the alien just immediately like swarms him and kills him because of it.
No, I do not have that on Steam and my PC probably couldn't manage to play that.
Damn it! I was hoping for a story like that.
That would have been fucking hilarious. No, the most that I've done with this is talk on here and talk in a Pathfinder session. So nothing too exciting. But yeah, so it's significantly more sensitive. So I had to turn it down so it wouldn't pick up my fan to almost non-existent. I think it's at like a 2 or a 3 right now. It's almost set to where it mutes itself.
Oh wow, that is sensitive.
At 0. It won't pick up anything, period. I could scream into it and it wouldn't pick up anything. It's at a 2 or a 3 right now. It's insane. And I'm sitting a decent distance away from this thing. I'm sitting straight up. I'm not hunched over my fucking desk like some sort of fucking Neanderthal. This is a lot better. Because usually at this distance, you guys are like, you're too far away from the mic.
Yeah, lean back in your chair and talk.
Hold on, let me mute myself so you don't hear the squeaking of the chair.
No, leave the squeaking.
Okay. God, that had to have been loud. How can you hear me?
You sound normal. Like there's a little bit of room noise.
As normal as you can.
Yeah, there's a little bit of room noise. You could tell that you're a bit further away from the mic, but it's still really clear and easy to hear you.
Yeah, I'm sitting about 2 feet away from this mic, I think.
This sounds like your old mic right now.
Oh, wow. What, when I'm close up?
No, like right now. It sounds like your old mic.
Oh, wow.
How it's like kind of roomy and like now get close again.
God, I hate that noise.
And now you're nice and clear and loud and yeah, this is a solid mic for $70. I think it. What do you think of it for 70?
For this, my other one costs fucking 90. If this sounds better, oh hell yeah, yeah. This one I wouldn't say is as easy to transport as my other one, because my other one, fits in your hand. It's so damn small.
Yeah, this one's meant to be like on a desk and stationary.
Yeah. This also wouldn't work in a what the fuck's it called? The thing that holds your mic, like what you have.
Oh, a mic stand? Yes.
This is not made for one of those. So you can't, I don't think you could use any of them with this mic, because it is a very thin square. I don't think this would work in that. But as shown, I don't know if you would need it. It's nice and thin, and it's kind of just out of the way. You can't speak directly forward into it. I have to set it off to the side, because if you speak directly forward into it, you hear the noises of like any time air escapes your mouth. You hear it.
Yeah.
And it's loud, obviously.
You get the pops and clicks and shit like that.
Yeah, so as long as you put it just slightly off to the side, still facing towards you, it's really good. And it's cheaper than my other mic. So there's that.
All right, so $70 available on the Turtle Beach website. If you were interested, you could pick that up. Shout out to Turtle Beach for letting us check this one out. And now, Aki, you have a new microphone. And it sounds really good, and the audio quality is significantly better than what you had.
Awesome.
So, rock on. Got some games to talk about. Are you going to buy another one for your other place?
I might.
Wait,
I very well might.
Other place?
Yeah, I do reviews at 3 different places.
Okay. I thought you meant like different locations.
I do. Yeah, they're all 3 different locations. Yeah, I do it here at my house, sometimes at my parents' house, who live about 5 miles away, and sometimes in Vegas, because I spend a few months there every year.
Hold up. All right. All right. First off, like 2 weeks ago, I found out that you have a Facebook profile that you haven't shared, which is a pain in the ass because then I can't tag you in anything.
Good.
And now I'm finding out that you can randomly spend like months at a time in Vegas.
Yeah.
What the doing what?
I
spy work, obviously.
My grandparents live out there, and I help them out. So they save all the stuff, like if they want to do landscaping or any of that kind of crap, they wait until I come up for a few months out of the year, and then I do it all for them because they're old and I'm not.
Okay, so you're a showgirl in Vegas. Okay.
God, I wish the money would be amazing.
You could have just said that.
I'm not attractive enough to be a showgirl in Vegas. I wish.
Wugga says 1 for home, 1 for work, and 1 for the beach house.
Yeah, pretty much.
The timeshare down in Cancun. All right, we got some games to talk about. First game to talk about tonight is called PJ Masks Heroes of the Night, developed by Petoons Studio, published by Outright Games, released October 29th on Xbox One, Switch, PS4, PC, and Stadia for $39.99. Go into the night to save the day as Catboy, Owlette, and Gecko. Use your superpowers to explore the world of PJ Masks and find secret collectibles in a platforming adventure for little heroes. Can you stop villains Romeo, Luna Girl, and Night Ninja taking over the world? Jacob, tell us about your time with PJ Masks.
Unfortunately, this isn't going to be one of those where my kids are on, so I apologize for that. It's way too late for them to review.
What? Your kids aren't up at 10 o'clock at night?
No, believe it or not. We try really hard to get them in bed by before 9 o'clock.
Parenting.
Yeah.
Look at you.
The concept of having a bedtime is so foreign to me. I've never had.
Did you not have a bedtime as a kid?
No, never. I also
just ran around until you fell asleep randomly in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just like no one in my family ever paid attention to ratings of movies. Hell, I watched Species when I was in middle school.
That's appropriate. I mean,
a lot of us have.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of us grew up to that movie.
My pants feel funny.
I really liked that movie too, so I totally understand that.
Hey, Mom, my friend lent me the movie Species to watch tonight. I'm going to watch it with my friends, and then we're going to, oh my God, I watched Species. What's happening to me?
My grandparents watched that movie with me.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
Yeah. They got the movie to watch, and they were like, "Yeah, you can watch it." They didn't care.
Oh jeez, yeah,
I loved that movie for obvious reasons.
Honestly,
Well,
like,
aren't her titties wonderful?
Her picks were fantastic.
Honestly, one of my favorite weekends in college, we discovered that like the local TV station was like having a Species marathon because I think it was Species 3 had just been released on DVD.
That one was such a shame.
Well, hold on. Okay, so none of us had watched Species before. We all just knew it was like some sci-fi thing, and we were all baked as hell. And like, and so we're just watching this movie, and like we're just like, okay, it's like, blah, blah, blah. What? Holy God, this is the best thing ever. And like we were just baked through like the entire trilogy at the time, because now there's a fourth one. But yeah, like none of it makes sense. And at the same time, like the first time that you see like what this is like they're fighting it. There's this weird alien sex thing that's happening too. Like none of like it just catches.
Okay, we're starting this review over. First game to talk about tonight is called PJ Masks: Heroes of the Night. Developed by Petoons Studio, published by Outright Games, released October 29th on Xbox One, Switch, PS4, PC, and Stadia for $39.99. Go into the night to save the day as Catboy, Owlette, and Gecko. Use your superpowers to explore the world of PJ Masks and find secret collectibles in a platforming adventure for little heroes. Can you stop the villains from taking over the world? Jacob, tell us about this game without going into some story about Species.
Yeah, it's Aki's fault. Aki said
don't care. Tell us about the game.
All right. So the whole premise of PJ Masks is that it's like these little kids who are also superheroes, but they only turn into superheroes like at nighttime when they're supposed to be in bed, which turns it into this like mini Batman kind of thing where you're also wondering, like as a parent, you're also like, holy crap, these kids are like up all night. And then it's like they're supposed to function during the day. And the show doesn't really ever explain it. Like it's weird, but anyway. So with this game, it is it's just pretty standard. Like the level introduces you to some bad guy character. You take control of one of the PJ Masks characters. You know, you have Gecko, Owlette, and
Catboy.
Catboy, thank you. I'm not as much of a fan of PJ Masks as my kids are. Sorry. It's not like Thomas and Friends where I ended up knowing like every single engine and stuff like that.
Tangent. Get back to it.
Yes. Anyway, so you start off as one of them. Eventually you have to do a vehicle portion, and then you switch back over to one of the other characters, and then you have to take over, like you have to take on the bad guy. But everything is just super, like, it's simple. It's simple stuff. It's stuff that my 4-year-old son can do. And it's a lot of platforming through most of it, except for the vehicle thing, which is it's just really just on rails. You just get to decide which part of the screen you're going to be on. You have to collect some amulets, you have to collect coins, and then at the end of the level, after you've defeated the bad guy and then they run away, it's just like, you destroyed my homework eating machine. Yeah, like, I'll get you next time, Gadget. That kind of stuff. You're treated to like this trophy kind of thing, or like a little diorama scene that you get at the end of it. And then you just go into the next level, and it's a different enemy, and you just wash, rinse, repeat. The action within the game, to be honest, it feels very similar to the Paw Patrol games, which Outright has also released. And
yeah, we actually had to check and make sure if it was developed by the same studio as. Well,
there was that. The other thing is that before we actually got the review copy, my kids, they found out that there was an Xbox game coming, and they were like, "Oh, can we watch a gameplay video?" And so I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I fired it up for them, and they're like, "This is a game on our iPad," and I'm like, "What?" Like, because I hadn't read anything about this being a port. So I went off and checked their iPad game. It's not a port. My kids are just like, "Oh, my game has platforming in that one. This has platforming." Equals same game. However, as a parent And Video Game Critic, I can tell you, very much not the same game. So allay your fears on that. But my issue with it is that it's just like, especially compared to the Paw Patrol games, it just felt like the character movements were so slow. Everything they did just felt like this, and the thing is, there was never any stuttering or anything like that, or an obvious gameplay slowdown. It's just they just move slow. And it's fine because my 4-year-old, he's able to easily grasp the gameplay with it. My only issue, I guess it's good in that regard, but at the same time, he also can do the Paw Patrol games with no issue now. And so, I don't know, I feel like they could have sped it up. And my other thing is that the vehicle portions, which are also very much similar to the Paw Patrol one, except with the Air one, you have a full screen, a full screen that you can move around in instead of the normal 3 lanes. The game makes no warning that this is going to happen. It doesn't explain to the kids this is how you move through the 9 different areas that your ship can theoretically be in. And so the on rails portion can be really difficult to gauge where you're actually supposed to be so you can collect coins and stuff like that. None of it really matters. You're going to beat the level anyway. It's just, do you want how bad do you want these trophies? All in all, for $30, $40,
$39.99.
Oh, that's weird. Cause I actually checked it before, popping in, and I was seeing people selling it for 30. So,
let me,
anyway,
I'll have to look on the store and double check.
Anyway, it's just, if your kid's a fan of PJ Masks, they're going to love this. It's a definitely better version of what's already out there. Going back to, as I was saying, the iPad game has platforming and stuff like that. This is way better platforming than that. So
yeah, it is definitely $39.99 on Xbox Store. I would imagine it's the same on Switch and PlayStation. Might be cheaper on PC, or it might just be cheaper in physical stores. Might be on sale.
Maybe it's a week 1 discount or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, as I was saying, if your kid's a fan of PJ Masks, this is a decent game to get them into. In terms of my first platformer or something like that, Outright has other games that are better, but all in all, for a licensed game, it's not bad. The target market is kids between the ages of 3 to 7. As much as my 7-year-old is just oh, I'm not interested in it, he still demanded some time playing it. So, so the older kids still may like it as well. But yeah,
so $40 your verdict.
If you're a parent with kids, yeah. If not, this is something that this is not one of the best titles that Outright has published. I'm still actually pretty blown away by their Addams Family 2 game. But as I said, this isn't the best Outright title published, but it's all right.
Carnage says the target market is achievement hunters.
Well, if you're an achievement hunter, then yeah, this is right up your alley.
There you go. All right, next game to talk about is Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater, developed and published by Koei Tecmo, released October 28th on Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, PS5, Switch, and Steam for $39.99. This mysterious and intertwined story follows 3 protagonists as each of them explores the ominous Mount Hikami, a place where many came to die, and the secrets that it hides. Aki, tell us about Fatal Frame.
All right. I have never played one of these before. I've always heard how good they were. Never played them. So this was a interesting thing to look at the very least. In this, everyone lives in this little town that is like one of those dead end, go nowhere, there's nothing here, no one visits types of towns. Going towards Ghost Town even, which is fantastic. Originally, there was going to be this giant road. It was originally a tourist spot, and part of that was because of this shrine that they had, and a giant inn that was there, and some other crap. But everything went to shit, and a landslide happened, and a lot of people died. So, yay! And they never apparently decided to clear anything up, because fuck it, why bother doing that to help the town? Just leave it all under rubble and let the town die, because genius ideas. And you first start off playing as Yuri. She's a young, I assume, high school student-aged girl, and she's with an older woman who's investigating the inn that was crushed in the landslide to find something for fucking someone. You find out who at the end of it, but meh. And you guys have the camera obscura, which is a camera that takes pictures of the dead and can exorcise them even, which is super cool. So you're going around, she teaches you how to use it and how to use your little powers that help you figure out where things are and all this other stuff. And you find it, and then you're attacked by ghosts, because of course you are. And you kick their ass by taking pictures of their ugly mugs. It's great. And by doing all of this, you get points. Not every ghost you photograph is there to kick your ass. Only a few of them are. Sometimes they're just like images of the past, and that's all they are. But you want to take pictures of those too, because at the very end of the level, you get a grade, and you get points. Every one of if you get a picture where the little crosshair is on their face, you tend to get more points than if it's elsewhere. And those points gives you gradings from, I assume, F if you really, really suck ass at the game. I can't imagine you being that bad at it. To an S rank, because like most of the levels that I've managed to get through so far, I've gotten S ranks without even attempting it. And I've never played one of these games before, so I'm fiddling around like a chicken with its fucking head cut off. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, and the points you can use to upgrade your camera or buy different things for each individual level. Those things disappear when you're done with that level. So, some of the things you can buy are things to get rid of curses that you obtain by being in the water, because apparently the water of this place is cursed. There's some healing items. You get different types of film that do more damage and eventually also not only do more damage, but take less time for your camera to reload so you can take the next picture. Because all of these are single pictures that they can take. Yay! No automatic good cameras these days. They really need to update these cameras to be fucking digital is what they need to do. Get like 50 pictures in like 2 seconds. That's what they fucking need. Oh, come on, it'd be awesome. Anyways. I saw you shaking your head. Fuck you. That'd be great. So all the camera upgrades you buy, you can only buy them in the level. And the reason for that is because there's multiple cameras. Each one of the main characters has their own camera obscura. And they're all completely different. So they each have their own upgrades. So you can only buy the upgrades in the level. There are some other camera upgrades that you can buy that are shared between all of them, but there's not many of those. Most of them are just buying the film. So most of the things you buy before the level is just your healing items, your different types of camera films, etc., etc. They all take points, but at the end of the level, the more of each one of these items that you have, the higher the points are that you have at the end of the level, because they give you points as well. There's no point in buying them if you don't need them, though, because you'll find a whole bunch of all this crap in the level itself. So it's better to not spend points and get a fuck ton of points than spend a bunch of points and get a fuck ton of points anyways. You're just losing out on points at that point. God, I'm using the word point a lot.
You
and I don't like that. Jesus.
Get to the point.
Every one of these characters are related to some degree, mostly because they're all going to the same fucking area. Because, none of them apparently care to listen to any of the horror stories of this place. Because it is well known that you do not look at the mountain that this inn and all the shrine and all that shit is on. You don't look at it when the sun is setting, because it sets behind it, and that brings bad omens to you, and you sure as fuck don't go up it when it's nighttime, because everyone who has disappeared or died up there. They've never come back.
Isn't that the point of the game? You have to go up there?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every one of the characters went up there because none of them are very smart. And the reason why Yuri heads up there is because her master went up there to find a missing girl. So you go up there because she hasn't been back in a few days. Because, you, a trainee, you can, that's totally where you belong, in danger. Totally. So you head up there to go find her. And then there's Rin, who has been having nightmares about some weird ritual where someone is killed, and he goes up there to try and figure out what's going on because he knows it's connected to this place, because the book you find is for him. It's a post-mortem picture book, i.e. pictures of dead people. Yay!
Yeah,
because that's not creepy at all. So all the characters are connected to this place, and to varying degrees connected to each other, obviously, because, again, you found the book for him, and now he's up there because, life. So, yeah, and you're all up there, you're trying to find the missing girl, and trying to get the fuck off of there yourselves without dying. So, yay! You're all fucked. At least if you're me, anyways, you're all fucked.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so out of curiosity, did you finish the game?
I have not yet, no.
Okay. And I mean, you still might be able to answer this. So out of curiosity, is it possible for every single character to make it off the island or the mountain or whatever? Or does the plot determine whether or not that person dies anyway?
Every level you play as one of them. So if you die on a level, you just have to restart.
Okay, because I was wondering if it was going to be something like the old Capcom game Sweet Home that was based on some movie and ended up becoming the basis for the Resident Evil games, where it's theoretically you could make it out of the house with everyone alive, but there was also multiple endings where if only 5 people made it, only 4 people made it, that kind of stuff. So I was wondering if this game was the same. No.
If a character dies in story, it's going to happen. Period.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think that's a good majority of it. All the controls are kind of tanky.
No, I would imagine that from a survival horror that was built around tank controls.
Yeah, I really would have liked them to have refined that a little bit when they ported it over, but otherwise it's pretty good. You can also buy outfits for the characters if you care about how they look. I know from the beginning, Rin, the only guy character, he has a groom outfit, which looks terrible on him, but hey. And the other girls, they have these gothic. A white gothic outfit and a black gothic outfit. One has a punk rock outfit, which looks bitchin' and is what is equipped on her for me. The other one has a slutty cocktail dress. Both of them have swimsuits.
Okay, so a lot of outfits. The game is $40. What are you thinking of it?
I really liked it. And I think because you're going to have to replay a number of these levels in order to buy all the upgrades, I think it's probably a value worth your money, and it's pretty fun. I enjoyed myself. I understand why people like these games now. This was pretty fun.
Cool, works for me. Next game to talk about is Unpacking, developed by Witchbeam, published by Humble Games, released November 2nd on Xbox One, Switch, and PC for $19.99, also available as part of Xbox Game Pass. Unpacking is a Zen game about the familiar experience of pulling possessions out of boxes and fitting them into a new home. Part block-fitting puzzle, part home decoration. You're invited to create a satisfying living space while learning clues about the life you're unpacking. Jacob, tell us about your time with Unpacking.
I'm jealous, just so you know.
It's on Game Pass. Play it.
I know, but still, I wanted the game.
It's on Game Pass. Play it.
First off, I just want to get this out of the way. This game was bullshit. I've never had an unpacking of my house ever go this smoothly. That being said, the game is actually a lot of fun. It is very much a Zen-like experience, and pretty much you're just pulling stuff out of the boxes and figuring out where you want it to go. Like, does it go on a shelf? Do you want it to go on a bed? Do you want it to go up on a wall? And for the most part, the game doesn't really care where you put stuff, although there is like a very specific thing that, like, after you've unpacked everything, the game will have stuff highlighted in red, and you have to figure out where the game actually wants you to have that stuff put. But for the most part, it's just like you just get to decorate your room as you want. Like, as long as the poster's on a wall, the game does not care. As long as it's on a specific, like, maybe something was supposed to be on this bookshelf on this side of the wall, like, as opposed to this other bookshelf. The only one that really threw me for a loop, and of course it's like, it was on the first level, and it was like, in retrospect, I was just like, yeah, no shit. Like, there's a diary, and like, so spoilers, I'm going to tell you where to put it. There's this book that looks like a diary, and like at the end of the level, it was the last thing, and I couldn't figure out what the heck I was supposed to do, and then I realized, oh, there's a desk in the room. Maybe I should see if there's a drawer that could open up. And sure enough, the drawer opens up, and that's where you're supposed to put your diary. Duh. But yeah, and it's just like, so then you complete the level, cool, and then it moves on to another point in that person's life, and you have, like, it's more complicated, but it's not. You just unpack the boxes and you just put the stuff wherever, and you just keep doing it. And to be honest, it was pretty fun. It was a very chill game, and I really recommend that you check it out. As Joe said, it's available for purchase now, and it's on Game Pass. So either way, whether you buy it or whether you just download it for however long Game Pass has it, check it out.
You like speed ran that one.
It's I know it's one of my quicker reviews, but it's just like it. I mean,
there's definitely some more to talk about. There's 8 levels, so there's definitely a lot of content in the game. The whole grading thing, I appreciate the fact that it's very loose with the grading on where you could put stuff. Like, if there's something that goes on a bookshelf, it could go on fucking any bookshelf in the house. It doesn't matter what bookshelf it goes on. I think that that diary is basically like the only thing that really threw anyone for a loop. Everything else it's pretty much, where would you put it normally, and that's where it goes. You could stack stuff basically wherever you want. I love the achievement list in this game. It is such a creative achievement list. Like, you got here's a spoiler. You get an achievement for, like, putting a toaster in the bathtub.
I did not do that.
Yeah. I got all the achievements in this game through Game Pass, by the way. I did this in like 2 days. I fucking love this game. It's just such creative achievement list. It's such a fun achievement list. Makes you do some really fun things. Some of the objects in the levels you can hit the B button and manipulate and interact with. I love the throwback video game consoles that are in there that look very much like a console, but just different enough that they could get away with it. But yeah, $20 on this one. What do you think?
For $20, absolutely. I mean, as I said, whether you purchase this game or play it through Game Pass, like, I definitely recommend everyone check this one out. It's a nice chill game. that I really do recommend. It's one of my favorites that I've played this year. So
yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile experience. Everyone needs to check out. Next game is Backbone, developed by Eggnut, published by Raw Fury, released October 28th on Xbox One and PS4 for $24.99. You're not special, you're not a hero. Thrust into unfortunate circumstances, you find yourself with no other option than to unravel what might be your biggest case yet. There's no choice. We change, but we change nothing. Get to work, detective. Aki, what the hell's going on in Backbone?
Okay, and this, you play as a raccoon private detective. So, you're originally hired to go find Miss Otter's suspected cheating husband, Mr. Otter. And, well, things go tits up pretty fucking fast. Lots of bad things happen, and you end up finding out about a government conspiracy for the ruling class to eat things they shouldn't be eating. We'll list it like that. And that come to find that there's human experiments being, done. So it's up to you to try and stop this and make the world a better place. It's about maybe a 6-hour game. Most of it is just walking around. This is a lot of walking around in this one. Most of it is, you have to wait for things, and then you talk to people. And you have to figure out what the hell they're doing and why. I don't think you can really fail to find any of that information out, though, regardless of what you pick. So it ends up being, do you want to go the Paragon or the Renegade choices in this game? And there's not a lot more to it, sadly, because that would be giving away a lot of the story. Because very quickly, the story goes out of control. So I don't want to go too far into it. So yeah, God, it just sounds so boring when I talk about it, but it's really not. God. You end up teaming up with a fox who's a journalist to figure out about this conspiracy, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and you do not have a fun time with it. You especially do not have a fun time with it because the journalist has you do fucking everything, really. She does nothing but order you around, and that's her entire goal in this game, it feels like, is just to make your life shit by making you go do the shit things and being like, oh, well, now I need you to go do this other thing. It's like, bitch, I nearly died. What the hell more do you want me to do? But you do have to deal with things like racism. Raccoons are apparently seen as very bad, very shitty, very shifty, and so are some other species. Generally, like, they have a sloth in it, and even the sloth's like, no, people don't like me because they consider me slow. Haha, funny, not so funny. Yeah, so, yeah, it deals with some serious stuff, but it's kind of like, it barely deals with it. It brings it up as this is just reality, which I can appreciate that because they don't shy away from it, but that's not the story they're trying to specifically tell. Yeah. But yeah, it does not end. Things do not end well for you. And I don't think there is a way to make things end well for you, which is,
oh man,
yeah, it's kind of sad because you grow to kind of like the character because, again, you're playing them, you're choosing how they interact with people and stuff, but like everything just goes to shit. It's like you're just trying to make do with what you got at that point. It's just like, man, this is all just going right downhill. This isn't even hell in a hand basket.
Well, don't say how low it gets because we don't want to ruin it for the people who want to play it. But $25 on this one. What do you think of it?
Oh, I'm totally for this. I really liked the interacting with other people because you can be very nice, you can straight up lie to people, or you can be the biggest dick on the planet, which is also really fun. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's good. You can beat it in like 6 hours, and you will need to play through it if you're going for all the achievements. You'll have to play through it at least 2.5 times.
Cool. And if you're on the fence, it is also part of Xbox Game Pass.
Go play it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, go play it. There you go. Next game is Bloody Rally Show, developed by Kodo Linija, published by Digerati, released November 3rd on PS4, 4th on Switch, 5th on Xbox One for $19.99. Welcome to Bloody Rally Show, a head-on smash between frenetic top-down arcade racing and hyper-violent reality TV. You must drift, boost, and blast to keep the viewers entertained and your paymasters happy. Go full throttle and drive to survive. Includes local multiplayer mayhem for up to 4 players, which we never get to check out because we're lonely people.
Yeah, and I don't like you enough to come up all the way up there just to test out a game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, Jacob, tell us about Bloody Rally Show.
So, pretty much, if you've ever seen the Death Race 2000, the original film, or any of like they've rebooted it years ago, and I think they made like 3 or 4 movies based on it. So, pretty much what it is that you just race around a track or from point A to point B, and you fill up your nitro by running over people. Like you run over the spectators, you run over the camera crew, anybody that you can hit, just do it. And with that, you, as I said, that fills up your nitro. You also have weapons that you can use within the game. But yeah, it's pretty much just a top-down racer that, you know, as I said, you've run over. It's just like a lot of violence, pixelated violence, but still violence nonetheless. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of top-down racers because a lot of the times I feel like the controls just don't mesh. The controls are real tight on this one, and I do appreciate that like they've really took the time to like not just focus on the violence. But
yeah,
actually,
I had a better time controlling this game than I did trying to control Circuit Superstars that just came out recently.
Yeah, like I went in there like because Joe was just like, "Yo, this is actually a good game. You should try it." And so I did, even though I told him like I don't really like top-down racers. As I said, the control like it controls like a dream as far as top-down racers that I've played go. So I first off to the makers of it, I really do appreciate the work that you folks put into just on the gameplay itself. Now with that. Like, of course, there's a quick race options, and like you could decide. Like, there's all sorts of customizable stuff. Like, do you want it to be a point A to point B? Do you want it to be laps? Do you want weapons on, off, that kind of stuff? Plenty of customization options. But there's also a story mode to it, which I thought was a really nice thing, and it really does take the spirit of the absurdity of Death Race 2000, like Roger Corman's old film, and it just amps it up. Like the dialogue is funny and snappy. The situations that are ridiculous. I mean, it's like you're pretty much reading like a comic book while you're doing it. But during the season mode, you pretty much just have to like, you know, you start off with this crap car, you enter in these races, you win races, hopefully, and you upgrade your car, and you just keep moving on through the story and stuff like that. And it's honestly a pretty satisfying experience. Now, obviously, as Joe and I both said, we didn't get the chance to test out any of the multiplayer stuff with it, but I would imagine that's got to be a ton of fun to get like 4 people drunk as crap and you know, and like, you know, just tearing up the track and running over a ton of people. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Joe?
It's just fun. I haven't really had this much fun with a top-down racer in quite a while because no one ever gets the controls right. Like, the controls in this game felt really good, and it felt like the car actually would go where I wanted it to go. Yeah. Which is important in a game like this. The bloodiness is hilarious. The first time I played it and ran someone over and gotten an achievement for it, I was like, I'm gonna like this game. And you just drive around, just splattering people. You can have up to 100 racers in a race.
In the custom thing?
With weapons.
Oh my God, I didn't I didn't fool around with the customization that much, but not that much, but not to that level. Man, I didn't even think to try.
100 cars.
How did it do? Did it like slow down or anything like that?
No, there was no slowdown that I noticed. I was on a Series X, but it was just mayhem. Like the weapons were just going every. Oh no, I didn't survive it at all. I let it go for like 2 minutes because I set it to 100 people. I wanted to do the 100 lap achievement. I was like, oh yeah, let's set it to 100 people. This will be funny. And because I had weapons on, it was just chaos. It was absolute bedlam. It was 100% chaos.
The best thing ever, then.
Oh God, it was hilarious. I laughed for about 2 minutes and then I turned it off and switched it to 10 racers with weapons, which I managed to actually finish that one and get my achievement. I didn't win, but I finished. I love the weapons in the game too. Like there's a pedestrian cannon where you shoot a pedestrian and it does a shitload of damage. And you can either wait a while for it to recharge or you run someone over and refill it to shoot again.
Oh, hell yes.
Like it's crazy stupid.
The weapons are well thought out.
Yeah, it's just fun, and they nailed the controls, they nailed the fun. $20, I give this one a buy it. What do you think?
So cheap ass Jacob would normally be like, if this was 15, like I'd be more comfortable. Here's the thing. I'm telling cheap ass Jacob to shut the hell up. As I said before, they actually got the controls like spot on, perfect for a top down racer, and because of that, $20 totally worth it.
Yeah.
If you love top down racers and if you love over the top ridiculous like violence, this is going to be right up your alley.
Oh, definitely didn't even mention the game is endless because the courses can be randomized.
Yeah.
So
and also you can build courses too.
So you could just race on different courses forever. All right, next game to talk about is Corpse Party, developed by Mages, published by XSEED and Marvelous USA, released October 20th on Xbox One, Switch, PS4, and PC for $19.99. A friendship ritual gone awry transports a high school student and her friends to an alternate reality version of a tragedy-stricken institution that stood on the site of their own school long ago. As the vengeful spirits of elementary school students threaten their lives and their sanity, their only hope of survival, much less escape, is to uncover the chilling details surrounding the murders of those trapped before them. Aki, tell us about Corpse Party.
Okay. This is, there's a reason for its name. You guys, as stated, you do this very weird occulty fucking ritual so that you all will stay friends forever and you'll all meet again and all this other stuff by telling somebody to keep you together over this paper doll, and then everyone grabbing it and ripping it to shreds and holding on to a piece of it. Because, that's always how you do a good thing, is by doing shit like that. That's never ends up being a fucking curse, ever. Obviously. Fucking idiots. You're all a bunch of high school students who have the intelligence of monkeys, and an earthquake happens, and you awaken in another school building, and you're like, what the fuck? And half the stuff that's there seems to be like statues. They don't actually function. They don't really seem to properly exist. Like, you might see a book on a table, but the character's like, yeah, that's not a real book. You can't flip any of the pages. You can't lift it off of it. It just exists there and only there. It's like, oh, that's not bad at all. No. And you're trying to escape. And in this place, you keep finding dead people, like long since dead people, like skeletons at this point, and bits of viscera and the like, which is pretty cool, actually. At least on my end, it's pretty cool. For the characters you play as, not so cool. And basically, you walk around and you're just exploring this place, trying to figure out how to get with the rest of your friends, because 9 or 10 of you got teleported to the shithole, and every chapter you play as a different group of the kids, because only 2 or 3 of them are together, and you're all just trying to find a way to get everyone grouped up and get the fuck out of here, because this place is out of time and in nowhere specific, because it's just a place that exists on the whims of vengeful spirits. At least so says the ghost of a dead person anyways, apparently. And basically this is die until you figure out how to do it correctly, the game. Realistically speaking, yeah. This is very much made for you to explore and to try and get out and then die and then have to figure out what you fucked up at and try and get out again. So yeah, it's pretty fun. The characters and their interactions with each other can be pretty funny. For instance, in chapter 1, and that's the only chapter I'm really going to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything. 2 girls are in there together. They're friends with each other, very close friends. They both have similar home lives. And you play as one of them with the other one always around you, so they're constantly talking to each other. And in one section, the one you don't control asks you to give them some cream to put on their butt because their butt is dry.
Okay.
Yeah, it just comes out of fucking nowhere. And you're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Have some ass cream. Are you Cole? Are you Southern? No, ass cream. Ass cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream? No, ass cream.
Yeah. And then, later on in it, they're talking about the boy that your character likes and all that other stuff. And it's just, it just seems like stuff that people would say, a little outlandish sometimes, but overall they really seem to like each other and to be friends with each other. And that's, I think, where this thing really does really well, is character interactions. They're fucking fantastic. 'Cause there's a handful of wrong ends and one good end for every chapter. And most of them are, you die. Oh, you succeeded. Move on to the next group of kids where you die. Oh, you got it right. Move to the next kid. So it's really more about the kids interacting with each other, which it's just really, it's really fun. It's kind of adorable. It's really funny. In this absolute fucking horror setting where things do not go well. If you're like, I don't know if I'll like this, I'm pretty sure there's an anime based on this. Go watch it. You'll very quickly understand whether you want anything to fucking do with this or not. Cause that's how I knew I totally wanted this game. Cause I've seen it. I was like, oh yay!
Oh jeez.
I get to kill some people.
Oh man, well the game is $20. What do you think?
I'm for it. This is a port of the better version of the games, maybe even updated a little beyond that. I'm not entirely sure, because there's been a few of these of Corpse Party released, and I believe this is the last version that had just extra scenes and extra endings and stuff put in it. It could have even more. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't gotten quite to that point yet to where I've been able to see if it has more stuff than the last version did. But so far it seems to at least be that version, which means you have significantly more to do in it, because you have the main game and then you have extra chapters and even some chapters that you can unlock, which are just extra things you can watch that, again, other characters and stuff. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's really, really well written, and it's horror done right, because it's a horror comedy. Cool. And I get to see people die, so I'm for it.
Yay! All right, next game is Dadish 2, developed and published by Thomas K. Young, released October 27th on Xbox One for $9.99. He's a dad and a radish, and he's back in his biggest adventure yet. Jacob, we covered Dadish 1 last week. This is Dadish 2, the thrilling sequel. Tell us about it.
So, if you don't remember what I said about the first Dadish game, you should go back and listen to like 2 episodes ago. But pretty much the whole basis of it is that you are this dad who is also a radish, hence Dadish, and you have to save all 10 of your, I think it's 10, thereabouts. All right. You have to save a bunch of your kids.
Man, you have a lot of kids. You were busy. That's a busy Dadish.
Yeah, I mean...
Momish must be exhausted.
That's a good point. Anyway, and so pretty much your kids constantly get up into these hijinks, and so you have to rescue them through these platforming levels, which, of course, danger is everywhere. Usually it's like saw blades, electricity, random, bad guys, which are usually in the shape of like fast food burgers and fries and sodas and all this other kind of stuff. It's very reminiscent of like late 80s, early 90s platforming games. That being said, this game has the dad actually at work this time, and because it's Take Your Child to Work Day, his kids decide to visit him, and naturally, because they're his kids, they decide to like run all over the damn building, and now the dad has to go rescue them, and hilarity ensues. The game starts off simple enough, but then of course it ramps it up because it knows that, you already know what the hell the score is for this game. And it's just like one of those, all right, let's get moving. Let's start throwing in the saw blades, the log drops, the spikes, all the stuff that you normally, want to avoid on the way as you rescue your kids. And as you get to each end of the level, when you find one of your kids, you have a quick conversation with them. I love that. It's like the first kid that you find. It sets up why they're at the office, and the kid's like, "Well, let's take your kids to work day." And he's like, "I left you at home." I know, we ran through dangerous traffic to get here. And it's like, and each interaction with the kids is always like this. Now, for people who enjoyed the last one, some characters from the previous one show up in this one too. And it's pretty fun. It's just like, it's simple. It's difficult. I could see some speedrunning fun with it. But it's a good like pick up and play game. And originally these were released as mobile games. These are obviously ports to the Xbox, and it ported pretty well. Like, it's, as I said, it's a good pick up and play game. If you want to complete like 2 levels, if you want to complete 20 levels, have at it. It's good classic platforming.
Cool. It's $10. What do you say?
Definitely. Absolutely. Both of the games are solid. I highly recommend both of them.
Start with 1 or start with 2?
Well, it's like The Godfather. Do you really understand the second one if you haven't seen the first?
Does that mean if a third one comes out, we should ignore it?
What third one? What third Godfather? There was no third Godfather film. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, next game to talk about is Stilstand, developed by Niila Games and Ida Hartmann, published by Nakana.io, released November 5th on Switch and PS4 for $2.99. Experience a woman's insecurities during a long summer of parties, dates, dreams, and time wasting. Amid the feeling of being stuck and the desire for isolation, there's still hope that one day things will change. Maybe the shadow monster in her apartment can help her stay afloat. Our friend Surlyna wrote in a review, and this is what she's got to say. Greetings, SML friends and fam. It's your girl, Surlyna, and I'm reviewing Stilstand for the Nintendo Switch. Let's get on to the review. As y'all know, I'm definitely a Nakana.io fangirl, so going in, I knew this game was going to give me a unique experience. I may or may not have said that I couldn't wait for this game to wreck me emotionally, and boy, did it ever. Before I get into the feels, let me talk about the actual game for a bit. This is an interactive visual novel, so in an attempt to not spoil the plot, I'll refrain from speaking on it too much. Instead, I'll focus on the quality of the writing, graphics, and art style, and how the game made me feel. The first line in the game pretty much told me I was going to be in for a ride. That line is, "Copenhagen, you bitch." 3 little words to let me know so much about our protagonist and her state of mind. Unfortunately, the one thing we don't know is her name. The game cheekily keeps that tidbit away from us, but for good reason. We'll just dub our heroine the Party Girl. The Party Girl is attempting to get through the summer's heat, but is also plagued and encouraged by what I can only describe as a nightmare-fueled monster. Granted, the monster isn't jump scary, but it was incredibly disconcerting for me to look upon. Anyway, Party Girl and monster get up to a variety of scenarios in an attempt to alleviate Party Girl's woes. That's all I'm telling you about the plot. The writing and visual novel is pretty good. There's a flow between Party Girl and monster that is what I was expected to be. If I had such a monster coercing me to do things I particularly didn't want to do but needed to do. As such, the dialogue between the two is standoffish, snappy, sympathetic, and somber. All S's, and sometimes all at once. You get the feeling that the two have an uneasy understanding of each other. The awkwardness between them is quite endearing and oddly relatable, at least it was for me. Graphically, the game is interesting. It's hand-drawn, which is always a joy, but everything is realistic yet slightly off. I don't know if this is simply due to the Party Girl's perception, but she's not immune to this effect. It wouldn't be fair to say that she's grotesque, but her appearance is certainly well on its way to it. I did some double takes on the expressions that she made as well. I'm pretty sure this is intentional, as it made me think just how deep our Party Girl has gone down the rabbit hole. As you progress through the novel, you'll find out the hole is deeper than you prepared for. This visual novel definitely hit me in the feels. Incarnating a monster notwithstanding, I've been through a lot of emotions that our Party Girl is going through. Oh, there have been times where I wished I had a monster to help me talk through some of the things I've been through. By the end of the game, I just nodded and went, yeah. It's nice to see some of the thoughts in your head can be projected on the outside where they can't be ignored. I imagine this may even help some folks who are really struggling out there. One can hope anyway. Stilstand is available on the Switch on November 5th for $2.99, and should you buy this? Normally at that price, I would say fuck it, why not? However, this is a wonderful experience, and you should buy it. It'll only take about an hour of your time, but it'll stick with you for a long while. Sounds good. Why isn't it on Xbox, Nakana.io? It's on Switch and PS4. Bring it to Xbox. I'm just waiting for anyone to say anything.
Oh, I was going to say
Bananas.
It's not on Xbox because use a hoe.
Fair. I will accept that. Next game is Milli and Greg, developed by Second Boss, published by QUByte Interactive, released October 28th on Xbox One, Switch, PS4, and PC for $3.99, and all in the all levels made by hand. Milli will face a lot of obstacles that will difficult her path. Oh my god. Who wrote this?
You know how to read, Joe?
This is seriously what the fucking page says. In the all levels made by hand, Milli will face a lot of obstacles that will difficult her pass, like a classic action-adventure platform game. The game also has some basic mechanics like jump, slide, and dash. However, with a physics feature that can change the gravity of your jumps, the player will have more challenges than he expects.
Oof.
I am.
Well, Jacob, it's you, so they were right.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Okay, tell us about Milli and Greg.
So pretty much what the game is that this girl Milli has this cat named Greg, and Greg is constantly a dick, like most cats I've met, and is constantly running away. And so Milli, she loves her cat, and so of course she has to go off and find him through all of these ridiculously brutal levels. This game is a precision platformer, and there's a ton of levels to it, like a lot. And what, much like Dadish, like this is a good like pick up and play game. Although, unlike Dadish, this one got frustrating real quick for me. And it's not that it's a bad game or like the controls are sloppy or anything like that. It's just you know, you really have to study the levels. Like when I say this is a precision platformer, I mean it. This is going to be like honestly, I think this has potential like for a lot of people to find like speed, like who enjoy speed running. I think they're going to really enjoy this. The level is you know, the art's cute, the music fun and energetic, and it's fun. You're going to die a lot.
You're going to die a lot in this game.
Well, I mean, I die a lot in most games anyway.
Yeah.
But
you do. You are pretty useless.
Yeah.
At least he knows it. So that's at least a plus.
But yeah, like, you know, and it's, I mean, the plot is not complicated. You have to go find your cat. Like, you know, and you just go through all the different levels. You know, there's really not much to say. Are you going to get frustrated dying a lot? If you're going to get frustrated, this may not be the game for you. But if you enjoy a good challenge, I highly recommend it. I mean,
and it's only $4. So
if it's only $4, then hell yeah. I mean, even if you get frustrated easily, then like just put down the controller for a bit.
Yeah,
you know,
this is an easy fuck it. Why not? It's only $4, so just buy the damn thing. Fuck it, just buy it.
It's easy $4, so fuck it and buy the damn game.
Yeah,
fantastic. If this ever got a physical release, I would hope that would be on the back, along with like, you know, 4 stars or something like that.
If it was physical, I don't think it would only be $4.
Joe, if you were physical, you wouldn't be only $4.
I am physical, and I'm like $12
in quarters.
Yes. All right, that's it for you two. I got one more review to do with our buddy Norg, but he's not here yet. So this is where I edit the show and I end it, and then I start again later with George, and I just splice them together. So I'm gonna put a clean edit right here.
Okay.
Totally.
Like, are you also removing the discussion of the Species movies?
No, too lazy.
Nice.
All right, and moving on, final game to talk about tonight. We are bringing in our good friend Norg. George Navik, how are you doing?
Fabulous. How are you?
It's been a long show. I'm ready for this shit to end.
I hear you.
Yeah. How's things been? You haven't been on in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We had some work stuff come up. We had we had a couple of storms happen that like shut down our power and internet for a while, and then more work stuff, a couple of funerals. It's been a couple of weeks, man.
Couple of funerals. That's not good.
Yeah, yeah.
One
was not surprising, and one was you and I can talk about that one offline. But you know what? Hug your spouse and all your cats, and just remind them how much you love them.
Yes, that's a good message to send. Hug your friends.
At any moment, something unexpected can happen, and you'll wish you had.
That's definitely a good message to send. So,
amen. Yeah.
Love you, George.
I love you too, man. Long time now.
Very long time.
Remember that one time I saw you at MagFest and you were going down the escalator and I was all like, holy shit, is that King Kong Bundy?
I remember going down an elevator one time and the door opened up and QUByte was there.
Oh, God.
And I was very drunk and I said, hey, Norg. And he screamed as the doors were closing, I'm not Norg, I'm QUByte.
That's hilarious. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Good shit.
What's wild is that now Julia lives about an hour north of me.
You should go visit her.
I really should. I mean, we don't look anything alike anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah. She moved out here like right in the thick of the whole pandemic thing, and it just hasn't materialized. She's doing great. She's working at a brewery and they're awesome to her, and I'm so happy for her. I just haven't had an opportunity to get up into, she lives in an area called Everett, and it's far.
Yeah, like Jacob is like 3 hours away from me, and we never get to see each other. So
3 hours may as well be 6 transfer flights. I mean,
especially with like families and
yeah,
like loved ones you have to put up with.
Oh my God, why would we want to do that? Come on,
man.
Chiz.
But hey, at least you've had plenty of time to hang out with a Switch and play some Tetris, right?
Holy shit, dude. When you asked me if I wanted to review a game, I had no idea what I was getting into. So I'll tell you a funny story, because if I recall correctly,
do you want this to be part of the review or separate from the review? Okay, if it's going to be part of the review, I should probably do the intro.
All right, do the intro.
Okay, final game to talk about tonight is Tetris Effect Connected, developed by Monstars, Resonair, and Stage Games, published by Enhance, released October 8th on the Switch for $39.99. Tetris Effect Connected is Tetris like you've never seen it or heard it or felt it before, an incredibly addictive, unique, and breathtakingly gorgeous reinvention of one of the most popular puzzle games of all time. George, we have talked about Tetris Effect on this show plenty of times before, and people have wanted to see it on the Switch. It's finally on the Switch. How is it?
Sorry. Just having a Game Boy moment. Yeah! I used to know the actual Russian words to that song once upon a time.
Really?
There's so much beautiful Russian music, and Tetris shamelessly stole it all. It's fantastic. It's like I hear all these like video game band cover bands. They're like, yeah, dude, let's play some Tetris. I'm like, you're just playing Russian folk music and you don't even like the Russian people. Fuck you.
That was the dollar dance at my wedding.
Hypocrites. The dollar dance.
Yeah, dance with the bride, pay the dollar, dance with the bride, get your cake. That was the dollar dance. Performed by the 1-ups.
Funny shapes and make them like fit perfectly.
No, it was just drop the buck and dance and get your cake.
You're a bit too meta.
Yeah.
Way too meta.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell you a funny story about this particular Tetris, because for starters, just full disclosure, I've been playing Tetris since I was probably 11 years old, and I built an 8088 PC XT with a turbo button that clocked in at a blistering 10 megahertz.
Jesus Christ.
And I had a copy of EGA Tetris on my 20 megabyte MFM hard drive.
20 megabyte, jeez.
So let's see, if I was 11 and I'm 45 now, 21, Jesus, I've been playing Tetris in some form or another for 34 years. And I used to consider myself to be really good because I could like roll the score on the Game Boy version, because I kept it in the bathroom and there was nothing better at that time than dropping a deuce and playing Tetris at the same time. I mean, come on. It's what you do. That's why we all got Switches, so that we could play Skyrim and take a shit at the same time.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to tell you a funny story. A drummer that I play with was telling me a few years ago, he said, dude, I just got this wild version of Tetris. It's like it has music and synchronized beats and stuff, and the graphics look amazing. And I was like, yeah. And I paid him for the pizza, and he left. No, I'm kidding. Because drummer jokes. Anyway, but he was telling me about this. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I didn't have any consoles that I could play it on, because I think the most recent PlayStation console I have is 2, and I have an Xbox 360. So there was that wasn't happening. But then it released on Switch. So I thought, that could be cool. And then you approached me to do the review of it. And of course I said yes, because it's Tetris. And so I loaded it up and I'm like, okay, this looks kind of cool. And it recommended putting on headphones. So I put on some headphones. And then I was basically transported into a world where Tetris is perfect and life is perfect. And I never wanted to leave. He described it as the perfect version of Tetris, and I cannot disagree. It was astounding. Also astounding was the fact that apparently I have completely lost my touch at Tetris, because I think I finally got through the single player mode on normal, and that was after getting through it on beginner, and that was hard.
Yeah.
So
it's a long career mode, I guess. Yeah. It's a long story mode.
So I went from being the dude that was virtually unbeatable on Tetris DS to having my entire ass handed to me by this version. And honestly, it was cool. I liked having the challenge, and I'm a lifelong lover of Tetris, so this worked out really well.
I will say it's nice that they handed it to you. They handed you your ass after they blew your ass off with how amazing the game is. They handed it to you.
They handed it to me. Like, they very reconstructed it. They used shoe glue so that it would still be malleable, and then placed it gently but firmly on a silver platter with one of those dome lids, and then they walked it over and they raised the lid, and you heard in the background, and I retrieved my ass and I replaced it to where it belonged, which restored order and balance to my universe, and then they blew it off again later. But it was kind of a cyclical thing, kind of like the yin and the yang. But yeah, so I usually go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. There was one. Okay, so the bad and the ugly are actually both the same thing. And one thing I really wanted to do was spend a lot of time testing out multiplayer, because my understanding was that it was cross-platform compatible. You could play Tetris with people who were not necessarily on the Switch. So on the rare occasion I found somebody online, I could see Windows, I think it looked like a PlayStation controller. It had a little symbol depending on what system they were on. The bad and the ugly part of this was the vast majority of the time that I got into the online mode, and I know my connection was good, I could not find an opponent. And then there are several multiplayer modes. You've got like the one where you're working collaboratively, and then there was briefly this one where you got to be the guy that the collaborative people worked against. That was fun, the one time I got to do it. But like the collaborative one where you have 3 players and you're taking on a computer version of it, and there are at least 3 difficulty levels. There were so many times where I would sit in the room alone, and then sometimes another person would come on, and then we did this little dance where you were ready, and then you backed out to be not ready, and then you did ready again because it played a sound every time you got ready, and then you got unready, and then poof, ready, and then not ready, 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 and then poof, ready. So we were doing this back and forth, and then eventually a third person would never show up, and the other person would stop going, not ready, ready, poof, and then you'd quit. So I didn't get to do that very often. I think on each mode I maybe got to do 2 or 3 times. And I was really looking forward to spending a lot of time in the classic Tetris mode on multiplayer. And I really only got to try it out a couple of times. So that was my bad and ugly experience. I found that if I exited out of the game and went back into it, I had a 50% higher chance of actually finding an opponent. And I would actually find somebody typically at that point. But then after that, like, nobody could be found. So if I went through the effort of closing down the app and coming back into it, then something was stuck. I don't know what it was.
Weird. Yeah, that sounds like something's very weird.
Yeah, something was stuck. I don't know what it was. It's entirely possible that it got fixed in one of the more recent patches, because I saw that there was an update. I haven't since tested that theory, but it's entirely possible that did get corrected. So I could be completely talking out of my recovered ass at this point. So now I have to do this though. I normally, and I've told you before, I normally do not go onto other sites and look for reviews, because that's stupid. I don't care what other people have to say. It's all about me, myself, and I. And I was looking up a couple of reviews at one point, because I thought there's no way that it can be this good without somebody talking shit about it. And I had to look really hard, but I finally found someone, and I'm going to read their review in its entirety with an old man voice for reasons that will become very obvious. The user was Foxy Chalet. I thought about doing it in the French accent, but I decided not to, because I prefer freedom. And it was posted on November. Oh, I got a freedom story to tell you in just a minute. It was posted on November 4th, 2021. Today, holy crap. I'm glad I looked today because otherwise
it's from today. Yeah.
It's from today. Here we go. 3 out of 10. I hate modern Tetris. So if you like the ghost piece, slow lock, reverse piece, hard drop, and more than 1 or 2 pieces previewed, you'll probably really like this game. I find all this stuff happening on screen to be pretty distracting rather than adding to the gamer. I think you meant to say game, but it was spelled G-A-M-R, so it comes out gamer. I would rather play Game Boy Tetris or Lumines. Luminous. The hell is that? I am also pretty good at Tetris. So I have a higher standard for gameplay than many people who just want to relax. The NES replication part is pretty good, but with only the versus mode, it doesn't really do enough for me. Also, here's too little customization. Pretty disappointing, and definitely not worth the money. And that's all.
What the fuck do you want to customize in Tetris?
See, he wants it customized, but he preferred the old versions, but he wants it customized.
Yeah, the old versions don't have customization.
There's no customization.
Well, that little son of a bitch doesn't understand that the old ones didn't have customization. We had green. We had more green.
My cake and have it too.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we had EGA. None of this high-resolution bullshit.
Goddamn spinach green, as far as the eye could see.
Son of a bitch, get off my lawn.
Anyway, I just felt that it was necessary to recite that because every other, the lowest review, overwhelmingly outside of this tool shed, there's nothing lower than like 8. I found a 5.
Ooh.
A 5.
You don't have to read that one.
No, I don't need to find out. Oh, another 5. The artistic Zen Tetris variant with nice visuals and audio, though at a $40 price tag, adventure mode can be finished in just an hour. When played in a handheld mode without internet connection, it repeatedly tries to connect to the internet. Developers seem to not understand handheld portable idea for a Tetris game. The music is very mainstream club music that can get quite annoying if you're not into that. Mild but bearable performance issues. Can be relaxing, but Switch has better games for that. Gameplay of Tetris 99 is better. Anyway, so yeah.
I like how your review is just turning into critiquing other reviews.
I know I'm having a blast over here. Your whole audience is quit by now, but
the developers are like, I don't understand what is going on here anymore.
Developers. Sorry, I have a trigger.
I can tell.
Every time I hear someone say developers, I start having to do the developers dance. It's like a compulsion. I mean, you know what I'm referring to, right?
Not at all.
How could you not? Oh my gosh. Go over to Messenger.
Oh, now. Okay, yeah. All right.
There's a great video.
Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer, the guy. Developers.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So now you understand where I'm coming from. So, okay. Now that we've gotten all that crap out of the way, these are hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, the only ugly part that I ran into was the fact that it was really challenging to find an opponent in multiplayer. Having said all that, and reading the lunacy of these ass clowns who probably don't wear masks in public, this game is fantastic. If they did anything to dumb it down for the Switch, I did not notice. The game ran smooth. It was the music and the combined beats of the rhythm of the vibrating controllers, and the fact that at times when you're going in between levels, the vibration mechanisms in the Switch were in tune with what was playing on the screen in the music, which was like, why didn't anybody ever think of that before? You know?
Well, Rez had the trance vibrator.
Okay, there you go. But like, it's Tetris, and yet it was such an all-encompassing experience. It wasn't just rotate blocks, make them fit, get a Tetris, and proper fuck your opponent. It was an all-encompassing experience. Like, maybe without taste, because that would be weird, but like hearing and seeing and touching. Okay, maybe not smelling either. Oh, well, I did play it in the bathroom a couple of times, so there was a scent. It all comes back to poop, man.
It does. It really does.
It just, you can't get away from it. You got to switch.
Literally.
Here's the money. We all got Switches to play Skyrim on the pooper. I mean, that's it. And now
you have Tetris on the pooper.
Now we have Tetris on the pooper, which, to be fair, we had before because most of us had Game Boys and poopers.
But now you have like psychotic Tetris on the pooper.
Right. And now that I'm thinking about it, what I should have done was I should have found a way to get like a piezoelectric speaker and mount it underneath the rim of the toilet and use it as a resonating chamber, because there would be so much bass in there.
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine? Dude, we're onto something here.
Oh my God. $40 on Tetris Effect Connected. What are your thoughts, George?
I mean, we've gone from the blast zone to the blast beat zone. Dude, this is it. This is our cash cow anyway. Okay. So let me finish. The game was spectacular. It was beyond anything I could have ever imagined a Tetris game could be. And it literally is the perfect modern version of Tetris. And it played extremely well on the Switch. The only time I had problems with the game was when I tried to play it with the Pro Controller. The D-pad on the Pro Controller has a tendency to give you up or down motions when going left and right at times when you do not expect it.
Man. Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Especially in a game like Tetris. So having said that, I would recommend anybody who gets this, stick with your Joy-Cons. I hope you don't have drift, because my right Joy-Con drifts down and it kept changing the field of view, which was kind of awkward. But that's a Joy-Con problem, not a game problem. Anyway, you had a question for me. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, $40. What do you think?
Get it. Buy it. Have it. Have your ass handed to you reformed with shoe glue on a silver platter under a metal dome so that you can replace your own ass and have it blown off again. It's that great of an experience if you're into Tetris. If you loathe Tetris like Foxy Chalet did today, then this is not for you. Neither is Freedom, but that's another story.
Enjoy freedom, joy, and happiness.
And it's made by Russians. It's the only Russian export that we can be proud of.
I'm trying to check. I don't remember if it was Tetris Effect or if it was another Tetris game, but I remember something recent had a hard drop protection built into it. So it would only do a hard drop when you explicitly pressed up. Like if you had the up diagonals, it wouldn't register that as a hard drop.
Ooh. That's something that it could have been in the settings and I just didn't see it. But, oh, hey, check this out. Number 2 best Switch game of 2021, according to Metacritic.
Yeah, go into options on the main menu and gameplay. Yeah. And near the bottom, there's something called Diagonal Lock. turn that on. And there's also cross-platform play, so make sure you have that checked.
Okay, I think I checked that one because I was seeing people from other platforms in multiplayer. I don't think I knew what the diagonal thing was, so I'll recheck it out. And
check diagonal lock.
How that goes.
It's the best invention to a Tetris game I've ever seen. It prevents hard and soft drops. It locks out the diagonal movements.
Perfect. So you can only do the hard and soft drops if it only detects up and down without any extraneous. That's fantastic.
Yes. So thank you, Tetris Effect Connected, for being fucking awesome.
Thank you, Tetris Effect Connected.
Very good to hear that it is
the good work.
Very good to hear that it is worth the money on Switch.
Yes.
I might pick it up on Switch just to have it on the go.
You should. It's preposterously addictive. Like, it's not even fair how addictive it is. It's so good.
It's so good. I have it on PlayStation. I bought it on Xbox, and now I'm probably going to buy it on Switch.
Yeah, and then there's the chill modes where you just kind of you're not racing against a clock, you're not racing against a line amount. You're just experiencing one of the many atmospheric levels and just enjoying it. It's so amazing. It is both relaxing and ultra stressing all at the same time, as Tetris should be.
Want to know what else is ultra stressing? The end of the show.
What?
JK, it's wonderful because we get to finish this shit. Yeah, it's the end of the show. That is it. George, thank you so much for coming on and chatting about
My
Tetris.
pleasure, man.
Always good having you on.
Always good to be here.
Thanks to Jacob and Aki for coming on, doing their thing. Do you have any do you have a music suggestion? Anything you would like us to play?
Oh, you know what?
Anything you have?
I did. I sent you something, didn't I?
Which one?
I sent you. It was the Punch Fest song. It's a little late for a Halloween-themed thing, but it was a cover of Super Nintendo's Warlock, one of the themes from that game.
I don't think you sent that to me.
Oh, snap. I'm going to hit you with a link here real quick. Can you play off of a YouTube link?
I mean, I'll just download it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works for me. I don't care.
I mean, I'm going to edit it later, so.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, we're going to play a song from you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Sweet.
Any final words to end the show?
Tic tac.